finish the conversation about this is one thing. If y'all don't like this, turn the TV off. Like Kendrick said, turn the TV off. Turn the TV off. We talk about dating. If if you in tune with that side, I watch those shows with my wife, but it's some benefit to watching those shows because you get to see and talk about things in relationships that's kind of testy that you don't normally even bring up because you like, man, I don't want to talk about none of that. You know what I'm saying? So watching those shows, you get to see some of your real life relationship situations in the lives of others in a comedic or entertainment fashion to the point that you can talk about it and deal with it. And you can see some flaws in yourself and you see some good things, some positives, some takeaways. So that's why we talk about this.
Facts.
All right. So getting back onto the topic, where we started with was Dave and Lauren. Lauren having a friends with benefits situation with a common acquaintance of Dave's best friend and it being a hurdle and her friends telling her that it's just as if you were flirting. No, I'm sorry. Having a physical relationship with the man that you met on a dating app that he claims ended 2 days before she came on the show. Her and her friends say that they never met him. He was just fun or whatever you want to call it. Either way, her claim to be substantiated saying that it wasn't that serious or the guy's lying. She can't refute the fact that she was in a friends with benefits physical situation with this guy prior to coming on the show. And I think, Rich, this is what I want to ask you because I know you had to step out. When he said you didn't say anything about it in the pods, you didn't say anything about it on the honeymoon, and you hadn't said anything about it up until the fact that my friend went on a ski trip and this guy said, I know that girl. So what's your thoughts, Rich?
I mean, first off, I know we ain't even like talk about the backstory of David because David himself is a walking red flag and he's just a monster overall as a person. However, dealing with this situation here, I don't know why he just can't come out and just tell Lauren that, hey, I can't be with you. I don't see a future with you anymore because I have a friend that's a mutual of a friend and he smashed you before I even met you. And there isn't no gap in between that smashing. So ain't no way I can overlook being with you, knowing that you was with a friend of a mutual friend of mine just a week before we met. And as a dude, part of the dude association, he's gonna always bring that up to my attention at parties or we around like, yo, I smashed your wife before she even met you. And as a dude, you just can't have that. Like, I don't see no rhyme or reason why he would overlook that because as a dude, you just can't. You just can't. Like, exactly. Ray J hit it first. I mean, he's gonna always bring that up. And I can't have that. I just can't have that, right? We dudes here, and there's a lot of dudes in the chat. There's no way you can overlook that. Again, if it was 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, back in high school, back at college, cool. But ain't no way I'm gonna be with you and you just smash a mutual friend of mine just a week before you met me. And you said it was friends with benefits. That's not how your friends describe it. They said innocent flirting or whatever, but then you came up and said friends with benefits.
We all
And
know
we
what
all
that
know what
means.
friends with benefits would mean. You definitely was smashing.
Yeah.
And as a dude, you just can't overcome that. And the dude handbook, page 54, that is something that you cannot overlook.
Like
You just can't.
you can overlook it if you could overlook the situation if it was if she came clean about it. I think her lying about it and trying to cover it up is worse than the action. Me
Right.
personally, before I got in any serious relationship, I know myself. I gotta give a buffer before I go from like in the streets to like I'm looking for something serious. Even if it's like a month, 90 days, 2 months, you need that clean period of like you done went and got tested, you straight, you good. People ain't still
Right.
texting you at 2, 3 a.m. Hey stranger, like I miss it. Come back and get this. You know what I'm saying? Steve Smith. You know what I'm saying? Like you, because if you get into a new situation and it's somebody you really like and it's somebody you was just playing with,
Mm-hmm.
know you trying to be serious and they crash out, like that's the problem of not giving a barrier. Because I don't know if you caught it. He said, "Hey, you got to give somebody some time between they was
Right.
with you to you with somebody serious, or they gonna look at it like, yo, I still want that." Like, because it's human nature. Like, let's say if it was reverse the role. Let's say he just got through crashing somebody, and her girls that she went to the cycling class with said, "Oh my God, Sarah been with that guy." And
Right.
it was very recent. And she went back and he was like, "Well, we was just playing. I just crashed out." And then what if Lauren told Dave, like, that girl still got feelings for you, and if she was to see you with another woman, she gonna feel like she need some closure before this going on. And her response, Rich, was, we had just went and got, well, going out for ice cream at a $10 ice cream shop, you know what I'm saying, and going home and getting crashed is not, hey, there's no hope for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it has to be a
Right.
conversation of, we hung out and we talked. I said it's over and we didn't crash. From the way she said it, the last time he seen her, he crashed. And we see
Right.
Montoya. Montoya plays in the minds of every man in the world right now. Of, if your girl say she had friends with benefits, we get to see visually on the internet to the tune of about 1 billion views what friends with benefits or just having fun looks like. It looks like bedpost shaking, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, getting completely destroyed. And I don't think he can get that out of his head because, Rich, the purpose of dating shows, the first thing they do when you get with somebody, they send you to her family, and they send her to your family and friends, and they get to ask you tough questions. And the first
Right.
question that's gonna come up is, "Hey, what if his homie brought the dude to that episode? He's got her number
Again,
already."
you know why he really is like having an issue with this because, like I said, the thought of him marrying the chick that one of his mutual friends smashed before they met is an issue. And then down in the future, if he does accept her, they gonna probably be at some sort of party and dude gonna bring it up again, and they gonna end up fighting or some sort of commotion gonna end up happening. It's gonna happen. So I applaud him for trying to avoid that. But and just refresh my memory, like he didn't know about the situation until they got back and got their phones, correct?
Right. He
Okay.
he didn't know till he got back because it was another girl, um Taylor and Daniel. Her family was not happy
Yes.
about her being on the show, and his family was accepting because his sister is blind. And then they skipped him going to her family, and they just put both the families together because I think one of them, I think her dad has cancer, and they
Yeah.
was just like, we don't want to go through, we just want to go straight to the meeting, which kind of lowered the blow of the tough questions because the families are meeting, not you just going to see her family, because her
Right.
family was not accepting of Daniel and the whole process at all. Like, 'cause, she got back
Right.
off the plane and they was just like, So
I
him,
mean, but I definitely commend that family actually coming together, and we can get on that couple in a minute. But back to David and Lauren, like again, to address David himself, the man is a monster. He been a monster from day one when he first got in the pods, and the very first question was, "What's wrong with you?" And then he just continued to disrespect Lauren through this whole process. And she kind of like was like a pick me type girl, and she did call him out and stand on business a little bit, as far as like, hey, you telling this girl this and you telling me that. Now you need to make a decision. So she kind of put David in a tough spot because she was like, you telling Molly she number one, you telling me number one, you need to make a decision. Obviously, he chose the wrong person because he really wanted Molly, but he chose Lauren
you
because I
think
think
so?
she was the last one. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You think
But
so?
however, yeah, I
But I
mean, she
think
was the
Lauren
last
looked better
one.
than Molly though.
Oh yeah, Lauren
And
do.
he
She
he self admittedly is a superficial guy. So I mean, like,
yeah,
if they got to the mixer together, he will regret if he didn't pick the prettier girl. You could tell the type of guy he
right.
is. he regret if he don't pick the prettier girl.
Yeah, Lauren is definitely the better looking girl, but like I said, he has totally disrespected her through the whole process. And even the scene where he's sitting on the boat with her and they talking, and he was like, "Yo, you don't mind if I talk with Molly again, do you?" Like that's some disrespectful type shit. Sitting there talking to somebody that's supposed to be your potential wife. If I
To
was
be,
her, I would just push him in the ocean and try to drown him at the same time. And then when she was like, "Oh, I just had a wax, we can't have sex." Did you see that man's face? Like how
ah
disappointed he
man,
was?
when she said she
Like,
couldn't do it for 24 hours, my man looked like he was ready to leave. But
and
you know what? When somebody's like that, this was karma rolling around to force him to deal with what how he is. Like he has to
right,
view this and see like, because you could tell during the process he was like, man, I'm really not a nice guy, right? You know, like I'm
he
really an
said
a
that in the
hole, or
past. Yeah,
and then having what he do to people happen to him, but still in point, he's handling it like a champ. Because I ain't gonna lie, if that was me, I would have been crashed out, bro. Like real
over
spill,
that.
I would have been crashed out. Like I'm happy that him and Daniel handled the situation the way that they did. Because it's like this season, I've seen people it, look at the red flags and stop more than any other season. Like
Right,
in the situation, Tattoo Girl, when she was feeling both dudes and playing both dudes, they didn't know who it was. And then my man's overly committed to two girls. She cut him loose, went back to old boy. Old boy went back to old girl. She said, I ain't the second option. I'm sorry. I'm going home. He left. Then the girl went back and he's like, so what happened with did you tell him you was committing to? And she lied about it. And then he stood on business like we ain't in position to make this work. I'm sorry. And
right,
that whole lover's box, that wasn't a triangle, that was a lover's box. They all
right.
left. And I think like to be honest, I think Dave and Lauren both dodging a bullet if they break up right now at
Well,
this point.
I think David and Taylor, I think they're actually going to make it. I think they're really good for each other. But I do think, and I do agree with you, that he should have probably stood on business a little bit longer and probably had her apologize and accept accountability for what she actually put him through because that was crazy. And Lauren, I mean, she should probably really run because I mean the red flags with David has been there since day one. Like the Molly situation on the boat, you know, hey, I can't do this for 24 hours. He looking kind of like that. And then he's walking around not only to the men, but also to the women. Like, you got smash yet? You got smash yet? You got
Yo,
smash yet?
that was a little too
Bro,
much. That was a little too
that was
much
that
right
was
there.
cringe.
That
Like, where was the producers at to come in and be like, yo, chill. It's one thing to ask the dudes that, but you asking the females that too? Like,
I
bruh.
think that's what's missing from the production crew on Love Is Blind and Married at First Sight. When you see this like train wreck situation, like it's cool for ratings, but they got to step in and be like, look, this doing this a little too much. Like this is wilding because you know even in the situation of Taylor and Daniel, her being adamant that he followed her on IG before they met, thinking that he knew what she looked like all throughout the process of the pods, and then the producer brought the phone out. He had never followed her. The picture that she had in her mind was not his profile. He didn't have that picture on his profile nowhere. Then I just
Right.
didn't like the way she apologized. Like, well, that was unfair to you. He was like, yeah, because I'm thinking you bringing me here to break up. You got here accusing me of liking you. And in my mind, like, isn't that validation? You met somebody through personality without seeing them, but they do like the way you look. Like, ain't that the validation of you connected mentally and spiritually, and then when you physically seen, say, "Oh, that's my type too." Like, I
Right.
think that would be reassurance to me, but I think that's a red flag to him that you know, like she's that insecure about this is too good to be true. She seemed like a person that'll sabotage.
Right. I mean, but to be with somebody or to find somebody that has the same type of chemistry, the same type of feelings that you have, and you guys really connect, and it really do seem like they kind of connect outside of her like accusing him of following each other. So they could be a very cute couple. And you know, I saw a few TikTok spoilers already, and I think they probably gonna last. But I won't be mad if they actually make it all the way to the end. Like I said, he
Yeah,
probably should have showed her a little bit more accountability with him be like, "Oh, you follow me on Instagram," and she was like adamant about that shit too. She's like,
Right.
"I
She
think
was
I
just
just
like
know. I just
teed up,
think I
like,
just
no,
know."
it's you. And then when the
Yeah,
producer brought the phone, I could tell the producer was mad though. The producer was like, you questioning our process of like we didn't vet that he knew you before this
right,
situation. And I think this has been probably like in the shortest amount of time between Love Is Blind and Married at First Sight of having people that have like things that clearly is out in the open. You know what I'm saying? Because like
right.
even on Married at First Sight, Dave, I felt like he handled it like a champ. If I was him, I would be so teed up the way that girl was acting when Pastor Kyle and Dr. Pepper showed her the video of them talking to her about would you be okay dating somebody that still lived at home if they were saving money and they had the money to move out, but they're just choosing to save more money. And she was like, yeah, I mean, I give him 6 months. And the guy walked out the back, and 6 seconds later, she was done. She was like, he's physically everything I want. The way he treats me, it's unfair for me to be acting like this. But, and then when he went to her house and she lived in a studio with a bathroom, the kitchen, the bedroom, the dog pad, everything is all in one room for $3,000 a month. And he's like, bro, your stuff is smaller than my smaller than
Right.
my guest house is bigger than this. What you tripping on? Like,
Yeah, and shout out to them for actually showing that because I thought that was a critical part in that particular show because they basically just show her everything that she asked for was in David, like to a T. Everything that she described and what she wanted in a man was exactly what David was, and she got exactly what she asked for. Because I think with Married at First Sight, they was trying to reverse everything that happened the prior season because when the prior season they all got together, the men and the women, and they kind of dictated how the show was going to go, and it wasn't really a true Married at First Sight type show. And I think this time they really got together and they was like, "Yo, all right, we're gonna get these people exactly what they want and what they asked for." And when they go back and roll the tape and be like, "See, this is what you asked for. This is exactly what this man is like." And now you saying that you don't like him or you don't want him, even though you described him to a T. Like
yeah,
that was a critical moment for her. And she
like,
had like egg on her face, which
and
was
when she
crazy.
went to his crib, I don't think there was nothing that he could have showed her that would have changed her mind. I mean, he's a single man living in a 2-bedroom guest house with a washer and dryer area, a kitchen, a bathroom. He had everything that she had, but bigger space. And she was there and she was like, so where do you go when you go on dates? He was like, out to restaurants, to events. Like, what's the purpose of being so I don't know. I just think we need Kevin Samuels, man. Rest in peace, Kevin. If we had Kevin Samuels
High
out to
value
tell these
man.
women that you 35 to 40 years old with no kids, never been married, and you being way more picky than what you should be, because in the real world, those guys would just go for younger girls.
Right.
That's gonna
And
pretty much just let them have whatever they want.
right. And to go back to like Love is Blind for a minute, the Virginia and Devin situation, I had somebody bring up something else to my attention. Like with Love is Blind being as fresh as it is and these people just meet each other within like a week or two. As far as the prenup situation, maybe that should be mandatory for a show like Love is Blind, considering how quick the marriage is going to be and stuff like that to protect the castmates. Because if you think about it, right? So a prenup should probably be used if you are just meeting somebody and it's like under a few months that you probably try to get married. In a long term situation, you've been dating someone 4 or 5 years, a prenup might be an issue. But however, if you just fairly knew off somebody, like just meeting them like a Love is Blind situation, maybe a prenup should be a requirement for the show to protect both people. Like, how do you feel
Right.
about that?
I agree with that. Like the way his family was looking and the way she said it, I thought it made sense because you come in.
Mm,
She's not saying that if I make more than you, it's a deal breaker, or if you got medical bills, it's a deal breaker, or if you got student loans, it's a deal breaker, or you live with your family, it's a deal breaker. She just said, "Look, we just met each other. We still getting to learn each other. I'll help you pay these bills off if it makes sense for us in the long run." At that point, he should be saying, "Where should I sign?" Because if he had actually had more assets than her, and she said she wanted a prenup to protect him, he should be diving on top of that. You know, like I bet there's some
Right.
athletes and entertainers and movie stars that would dive to have a woman come into the situation saying, "Hey, I'm cool with leaving with what I came in with if this don't work." You know, and
Yeah.
I just think that what you said is 1,000% true. Like maybe they should start making these people sign legal prenups up until a point. Did it get to a point if a person wants to go rip that contract up 2 years from now, fine. But the success rate of the people that stay together on these shows is small. The success rate of marriages in our country is small. Like I just don't see a
Yeah.
reason to
Yeah, if you've been dating somebody long term, 4 or 5 years, and you guys finally decide to get married, I can understand why a prenup might be an issue. But if it's short term, kind of like shows like Married at First Sight, Love Is Blind, a prenup should probably be a requirement because to your point, you don't know these people, and it could kind of go kind of crazy. And the law is a law, so once you cross that line with the law and you ain't got no prenup, like you just leaving it up to the judge, and it's gonna be a whole lot of bickering and arguing and going back and forth. And imagine you in a long uh divorce battle with somebody you only knew for about 2 weeks. Like that could be
yeah,
crazy.
it don't make sense,
That makes zero sense.
especially
So
with the way the season's going. And also
yeah.
like within looking at some of the new situations, when what you think about Tom and Camille, her saying she's blacker than him and it's an issue, but if a dark skinned person looked at her, a man or woman, they would look at her and say, hey, you a fair skinned woman, like you not necessarily the quintessential black person, brown person yourself. I think it's a little bit of colorism for her to try to make him feel like he not black enough. Specifically with him letting her know on the honeymoon, I was adopted. I was lied to for 30 years. I didn't know that my dad wasn't my real dad and my family wasn't my real family. I never met them. I've always never identified with everybody and everything because I am adopted and I'm biracial. So like I don't think that was fair for her to try to make him feel like he's not black enough when he's just in a situation where he's grateful to have had parents, especially with him telling her that his dad had his his adopted dad died of cancer too. So it's like what
Right.
like if you him you like, hey, I don't even know who my real family is, and then you tell me I'm not black enough for you, but you yourself as like not like this dark skin or brown skin person, you as light as they
Yeah.
come yourself, like you one shade away from being passe. Like I didn't like that because if it was flipped on the other side and the guy told the woman that you're not dark enough for me, or like I think that's what you thought about that.
Yeah, I thought that was a very interesting dynamic when the show first started. I'm not sure how much it is an issue now in the later episodes, but I mean that couple there is kind of interesting, and I'm not quite sure what to really think of them and how they're going to go on decision day. But my whole feeling with them was that obviously there's an age gap, like a 10-year age gap between those two, and I know age ain't nothing but a number. It don't really mean much these days. But the way that she's acting and the way that he is, it kind of seems like she's looking for somebody a little bit more not reserved, someone that like is willing to take the lead and kind of like dictate to her a little bit. And he don't really seem like that type of dude that'll do that. Or at least he's acting shy. I mean, the man couldn't even like really communicate that hey, he want head. Like he had to go in front of the experts and tell them that hey, I want her to give me head more often. And he's the one that's giving and she ain't. And like, bro, you couldn't tell her that. You the older one. Like you should be able to roll that off your tongue quickly and easy. Like, bro, how hard is that? But they're an interesting couple. I don't know really what to really think about them.
To,
I mean, my sister thinks that they are lovely and they're gonna make it, but
to me, they look like two people that belong. Like they both kind of look vanilla and plain, and
yeah.
he looked like he's her speed. Because let's be real, Rich. When she's
But
saying
I
that
think
he
she
ain't,
wants somebody spicy though. I think she
but
wants somebody a
this
little
what I'm
bit more
saying though.
spicy than
Like
him.
her sister said, that hasn't necessarily worked out for you, has it? And she kind of got
Right.
quiet at the pool party. Because my thought is, take this light skinned girl who seems a little naive, who ain't never had kids, ain't never been married. If a dude see her and it's what she wants and what she used to, like the loud rah rah guy, he's probably
Mm.
gonna bust down on her and dip. Because
Right.
reality is, if Kevin Samuels route, if a dude got what she want and is what she's looking for, he gonna look for the younger version of her fresh out of college. If you, especially if you're already dealing with an age gap, you're gonna get one that ain't already wide. You know what I'm saying? You gonna get the athletic
Right.
slim version of it. And then, on his side is like, you got exactly what he need. It's like you got a black woman, but she ain't so hood and ain't so trapped out that he ain't gonna be able to keep up. That he gonna just look like a lost puppy. They really look, from an outsider's view. I know she probably would disagree. They really both look like the same thing. They look like they could be brother and sister. They look like they're
Right.
perfect. Like neither
They
one
both
of
light
them is,
skinned.
you know what I'm saying? Like neither one of them gonna swing first. And she talking about his drip. Does she not know she dressed like auntie? Because when you see her sister and his brother dressed the way she want him to dress, and in the way she thinks she is, her sister looks like. Like her sister got
Right.
more edge than her. She looked like the old auntie sister. You know what I'm saying? With the
Right.
with the baggy blouses, the ruffled up blouses, and the hair. Like Rich, her hairstyle is definitely give you auntie vibes, church lady vibes. She
Right.
don't give you young and vibrant vibes. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a cougar. You know what I'm saying? If a
Right.
YN found her, that's a cougar. Like he busting down on her. She probably gonna buy him a few things, and then he had Jordans in the closet. He dressed the way she wanted him to dress. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't understand that whole he ain't trying to make him feel like he ain't black enough situation.
Right. But that's like another situation where we got another couple or another dude on the show trying to change who he is to like please a woman or whatever, or try to like get in her good graces, because we had Alan over there. I spent 3K on clothes today, and here she is over there messing with another dude. So that was a pretty crash out
Yeah,
moment right
I
there.
like Alan though. Pause. You know what I'm saying? I think
Yeah.
Alan, that girl thinks she look different than she needs a mirror, because like
Yeah.
she's not no bombshell or nothing like that. She's just some like regular run of the mill chick that you see and you probably never look at. And Allen is a
Right.
good match with her. He's an outgoing dude. Dude got cars and stuff. Got it. You know what I'm saying? I just thought that like she played herself like she was more than what she
Mm.
was with him, and not
Right.
understanding like when she said she felt like he was a pushover, and he was like, if I'm not happy, I'll just leave. Like, what you think me being nice to you and caring about you, and it just lead me to believe a lot of these women that be on these shows don't know what it's like to have a good man. That's why they 35, 40 years old and not been in a relationship in 5 or 6, 7, 8 years.
Not
Because
only that, but and I guess it can kind of like go both ways between men and women, is that we say one thing, but then we want something totally different. Like we say we want the nice man, the man that do this and do that or whatever. But at the end of the day, they don't really want that. Like they want the man that's going to be disrespectful to them and the man that's going to treat them like shit. Like that's just the reality of it. I mean, we seen it on the show with Michelle. Like she wasn't interested in David until she found out David was messing with another girl who was possibly interested in him. Like
true.
all up until that point, she was dissing the man. Like he couldn't. There was nothing he can do to like get in her good graces. I mean, we don't condone cheating or nothing like that, but that's just what it was. And again, you sat down and she replayed everything that she wanted, and it was in David. And she kind of like, no, I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that. But everybody always said that they want the good man or they want the good woman until they get them, and then they were like, nah, this ain't what I want. This ain't what I want. This ain't what I need. I need the bad dude. I need the bad woman. Like
And that
that's
that's
just what it is.
that's Camille and Thomas right here on the screen. Like that don't look like somebody that like she's this Nubian queen, and he's like some vanilla dude that is completely out of touch with his blackness. Like I just don't see that from them. And then when you look
Right.
at when you look at Madison and Allen, she don't look like some girl that's out of his league. Like I don't see nothing about her that make her look like this ain't the dude that
Right.
she would be talking to. You know what I'm saying? And then he was
Yeah.
playing her saying he had the hoopty, and the hoopty was really a jaguar. And then it's David and
Yeah.
Michelle. Like this woman, like what about her make her feel like she's so far out of this dude league, living in a
Yeah.
1 bedroom studio
She
with a
look better
dog.
in that picture than she does like when she is like on camera or whatever. Like that
She do.
makeup right there that she has in that picture
It's doing her
makes
justice.
her look fire. But without makeup or just like with the regular makeup that she be wearing, I'm like, you ain't the boy Cameron Samuel say you ain't like no. You need
Ma'am,
to
you could have
lower your
dialed on.
standards. Yeah. You need you're not single by choice.
Man,
That's what Cameron Samuel used to say. You're not single by choice.
right. So you know you look at them and then I don't know if you looked at their relationship, but Emim's relationship, that
Bruh.
situation is a little weird because I ain't gonna lie. When her folks showed up, I was like, man, them. I had to escort them people out of my house because he
Well,
said
here's the thing though. When it comes to Ike didn't like the way she push up on him on the wedding night or whatever, like back at the hotel when she tried to sleep with him. Then cool, but however, overall, I think Ike is just really intimidated by her because she's a little bit more successful than he is. So I think she has a little bit more money than him and stuff like that. I think he's just really intimidated by her.
you
And
think
I
so,
think he was looking for a more submissive type woman, and she ain't it.
but I
She could
think
be.
I think it's a
She
good
could
match
be.
because she challenged him, but also at the same
Yeah,
time,
he don't like that. He don't
like the
like that.
way her cousin came at him on that original day and the second day, like I don't know who he thought he was to come talk to anybody like that. I promise you, I'm not going around my wife and some of her, me and her family talk to me like that. Like, bro, you talking to me like I'm a 10-year-old kid and you just finna give me the rundown on life. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not
I
married
mean, I
yourself.
understand that though, because as being the big brother that I am, I mean, I would definitely talk to my brother-in-law just like that. Matter of fact, my sister has a story of me threatening him on their wedding day.
You pulled
Like,
up with
look
the
here, I
stick
put him aside, like, look here, bro. Look here. And he went back and told her.
but see,
So I'm
like,
like,
see me,
I can understand his cousin though. He wants the best. So I
yeah,
can understand
and,
that.
and I think he was letting them know, like, I understand y'all want the best, but he was like, ask me questions about me. Like, you asking me questions about other stuff. Like, ask me, like, get to know me, find out who I am. Cause I think his people did a really good job of letting them know, like, it's all about what y'all, the work y'all put in, do. I think when you have the families, like Daniels, the families that come in, they give them reassurance. I think it helps the situation when people come in. Like, a lot of times, friends, family, homegirls, homeboys make your relationships hell and out the gate. And some of them
But
do it.
outside of
Not
that though,
some people
do
don't do
you
it out,
not think
genuinely though, Rich. Some people be really wanting your situation to fail.
I mean, yeah, but I think he was protecting old girl more than anything, the cousin was. But even besides that, like everything that happened after that, do you not think Ike was in the wrong and he didn't deserve exactly what she told him at the end of the last episodes? Like, I wish you the worst. And she wrote her letter and stuff like that. Like, she was, like I said, she definitely was being aggressive at that point. But however, she needed to vent. She needed to get that out. And she needed to tell him exactly how he was acting through this whole process. Because if you remember, she still was willing to try with this man, no matter how bad she was getting treated up until that point. She's like, let's move in together. And like for any woman that got to sit on a show and beg a man to move in or beg a man for attention or beg a man to
Mm,
act right, like that is crazy.
true.
That is
Like
insane.
I just think like she ain't his cup of tea and he's scared to say it.
Yeah, I mean, because he don't like those type of women. I mean, like I said, he wants somebody a little bit more submissive, someone that's not really like questioning him. But it goes back to like, bro, we just met, we got married at first sight. I only know you for like a week or two, and you expect for me to not ask you no questions?
Yeah. I,
Like
that's my
what?
one question about the people that go on to act the way he did in the way some of these, like, do you realize you 35 to 40 with no kids, never been married? Whatever you've done up to this point has not worked. You're desperate. Like, to get a woman that look the way she do with her accomplishments to actually commit to you at that
Right.
age for both of them, it's like, without bringing in a whole ex-wife and kids and from other marriages and all kind of other stuff and alimony, without bringing all that to the situation, just two people with a clean slate, like, just the clean
Yeah.
slate is like finding a needle in a haystack.
Right.
And I would be frustrated if I was the people who run the show when you get these people that are so closed off. Like, I thought you can't, like, you got enough balls to go on an online dating show in front of millions of people and make yourself vulnerable. But when they come out with somebody who's actually solid, like you looking for every reason not to make it
Right.
shake. Because I ain't gonna lie, Rich, me, I can only speak for myself. I go on the show. The worst thing I'm thinking is, please don't bring me nobody ugly. And then you get on there and the girl cute. Man, you supposed to. I don't know how, like, when it get to the point where they don't want physical contact, just say you don't like them. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Just go say like, this ain't gonna work. We too far apart. I would rather them
Right.
say that than try to make it seem like it's anything other than you're not what this person is used to. But in reality, a lot of these people are used to dating something that's not good for them.
Right. And to your point is like people who go on these shows, they should be very lucky that they had someone do all the work for them to bring them somebody that could be compatible to them and somebody that really likes them or wants the same things that they want. Like they did all the work for you. Like what's
Yeah.
the issue?
Yeah, I think the matchups that they have like out the gate. Now some seasons I feel like they mismatch people for ratings, but this ain't a season where I feel like that. I feel like I can see why they put every couple that they put together.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
one
at least they
couple that
proved it this time,
yeah
especially with that Michelle thing. Right.
that did and Juan, their situation is a little weird. I don't know what's up with that girl. She just seemed like a little off. Like she just like when she got mad and she never says anything she's thinking. And he's like, "Well, if I do something you don't like, just tell me." And she's like, she still don't say it. Like I
Talking
could,
about Juan and Carla, right?
yeah, want to call. I couldn't be in a situation where the person never tell me why they mad.
Well, their situation is kind of unique as well. I mean, as of right now, if you like really think about their situation, it kind of went south when she told him that she quit her job just out of the blue. Like homeboy face when she said that, like I just quit my job. She's like, why would you do that? Like ever since after that point, if you really look at that couple, they haven't really been building up a marriage future or whatever. Like they ain't been talking about moving in. They ain't been talking about finances and stuff like that. They just been really just been hanging out together. So I wouldn't be surprised on decision day if they be like, nah, this ain't gonna work for neither one of us. Because like I said, they ain't really been building nothing towards the future. They just been hanging out. Like they kind of just
I'm gonna tell
like
you why
just
though.
getting by.
In a similar situation, it ain't even talked about from people on Twitter or the people on the show. It's not even broadcast like that. You see how
Mm,
that woman act towards David because he lives at home in the guest house. Old girl comes over, Carla critiques this man's house. Oh, you got a bike? Oh, you got the hammock? This is just like, it's just like you, right? And then he's like, yeah. So where's like you got a space? And she's like, nah, I don't have a space. Like you come on there without your own place, and he's like, all right, that's cool. Well, you can come here. You know, obviously some of your stuff you bring is important. Some of the stuff that's not important, you leave it. And she instantly got mad, right? But it's like if the role is reversed and the girl got a crib and the guy's critiquing the crib, but unlike David, don't even have a space. He didn't. There wasn't a deal breaker for him, and he didn't look at her like she wasn't what she was before then.
right,
That's why I say it's a double edged sword. Like, and it's a double standard because she don't have a place, and he instantly was like, "Well, that's cool. You can come to mine." And she was more mad about being able to decorate it than not having her own crib. I just
right,
thought like she have a fantasy land view of what she think a relationship's supposed to look like, and telling him because my last relationship, the guy I moved in with made me feel like that wasn't my place too. Has nothing to do with you coming into this marriage, still not having your own place, and then trying to put pressure on him to let you transform the place that he's in when you don't have a space and you quit your job. It's almost like if a dude quit his job and didn't have his own place, then how old girl look at David would be validated.
right,
You see what I'm saying? Like that's a lot.
right. And you would think that Married at First Sight is 18 seasons deep, 18 seasons in. Like you would think that, and I know these people have already watched the show before coming on it, right? So you would think 18 seasons in, they would have the most successful marriages in the world, because you got people who already know about the show. They kind of know how the format is. They should know how to act. They should know what to really expect. And you think they would like really want to work it out. Like, I don't understand why they keep having all these issues with all these couples, considering the show has been around forever. Like, imagine going on
Unless,
Married at First Sight and be like,
unless,
"Oh, I didn't know we had to move in together."
unless all
What?
the people that come on there are coming on there for the wrong reasons, and they're not really coming on there to find love. They
Oh,
really just
there
trying to get on
is, there
TV.
is. You can tell that there's definitely people on there that just is coming for the wrong
I
reasons
feel
and
like Emim's
maybe
guy,
get fame.
he might not want to
Who?
say it. Emim's guy,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. He got
I,
a book out. He's an author.
I feel like he's there to self promote.
Of
You know what
course
I'm
he
saying?
is.
Like,
This is his second time. He got denied the first time.
I feel like he's there to self promote and to build himself up. I don't feel like he's there for her. And
No.
see, I wish we could see more behind the scenes. I feel like some of these situations, they know, like the people can get the feel of like, because my first red flag, when they get ready to give us the dual apartment to see how cohabitation work, if the person don't move in, I'd leave the show instantly.
Yeah.
Because Alan's girl, Mattis, she didn't come home the first night. Bruh, come on, man. Rich.
Well, not only that, but I think Ike kind of messed up in the very beginning when they were still at the resort or whatever, when he kind of referred to her as his homie or whatever.
Mm,
So that kind of like messed it up from the jump there.
friend
So that
zone.
kind of like was a red flag. So he just either he wasn't really attracted to her or he just was like fully turned off from her from like day one. But here's another situation where another dude comes up with another successful woman and kind of like just turns his nose up instead of being like, "Hey, where I sign?" or "Hey, I hit the jackpot."
Yeah,
Like,
I think she was ready for to try it, and he wasn't fully open to it, so he kind of ruined
right,
her experience. I think
yeah,
David was
she was
ready to
open
try
plenty
it.
of times.
It's it's
Yeah,
it's too many people on these seasons that seem like they ready to try love, and it's people that come on for the wrong reason and ruin their experience. Especially like later in life, they won't ever get that opportunity again. To experience what they experienced, and between
right,
Married at First Sight this season and Love Is Blind this season, it's like what you start to take the notice is like some people are in love with the red flags.
oh
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like some people just like red flag don't exist, and you can see why they've had problems in relationships because they just too hypocritical about what they ask for, and they get what they ask for, and they still unhappy. And I wish
right,
that he didn't pass, and you had Kevin Samuels was the host on the show to come in. Like, you know how the ratings would be if Pastor Kyle,
right,
Dr. Pepper set them up, and then like instead of it being Pastor Kyle, it's Kevin Samuels to tell them what they doing wrong.
right. Well, the thing is, I didn't even know who Karen Samuels was until like a few years ago when I kept seeing all his stuff on Instagram and stuff like that. I had no idea who he was, but he definitely be speaking facts in the clips that I be seeing. Like, hey, you, you 35, where you got 4 kids, and now you looking for a husband, and then you be like, you talking about you celibate? Like, how?
Yeah,
Like,
it don't
why?
work.
Like,
You know, it's like uh,
what?
like my favorite one he had when he was with Ti, and the woman was like, "I need to get a man who this years old, make this amount of money," and he's like, start breaking down like, okay, it's 6 to 8% of men in the U.S. make that amount of money. Of those 6%, this amount are between the ages of 21 to 35. Of this percent of those, you got to factor in sexual orientation, incarceration, that they're already married. He said, "Ma'am, dial on." He was like, he's like, you look at. He said it's only 3,500 men in the world that fit the criteria to what you're looking for, and those 3,500 men don't want a 35-year-old woman with 2 kids. He was
Yeah.
like, yeah,
I
like I
think I
think,
saw, yeah, I think I saw a clip today where someone was saying describing a woman's standards, and then the women was like, "Yo, I want somebody that makes over $100,000," and then the man was like, "Well, you already eliminated 85% of the men population, just by saying you wanted somebody that makes over $100,000. Then now you stuck with a 5% that makes that amount, but they're already married, and then you got to deal with this percentage share that might live an alternative lifestyle. Like, so what are you doing? Like what's going on? Like it's nothing wrong with having your standards, but at the end of the day, you kind of like you gotta like be realistic a little bit as well. Like you want a man 100,000, you want a man that's over 6 feet, ma'am. You already disqualified damn near 90% of the man population.
And then he said, how much do you weigh? And she said, that's none of your. He said, ma'am, how much do you weigh? He said, you 5'3", 170 pounds. He said, ma'am, no.
Hey, I saw one clip where she was describing her weight. He's like, man, you damn near a running back in the NFL. Like you hitting the A gap like a motherfucker.
Oh
I
man,
had to send you that clip.
we needed him to get a syndicated TV show. If he had a marriage show, oh my god, matchmaking show, it would be so great. It would
What we
be the
could do,
best,
man, you get all the clips and we'll come up here and react to them or at least
bro.
watch them again. Like
That would be fire.
that would be fire.
Some more situations on this upcoming season. I see they got the new lady on there. You could tell she be irritated with the women's responses on how they reacting to the guys, because you could tell they went through a long process of like she don't understand the position she's in. And to some of the guys are so sensitive that come on the show like, bro, you're on a TV dating show and you almost 40 years old with no kids and no wife, and that list that you got, you need to just ball it up and throw it out the window. Because I don't like just finding somebody who's never been married and don't got kids already, that don't got a STD or got like
Right.
some kind of crazy record that you wouldn't want to be in the house with them, is a lot. Like that's just a lot in itself.
Yeah. Not only that, but realistically, being in your 40s, damn near mid 40s, approaching maybe 50s, like at the end of the day, you got to look at it like you probably already lived like damn near 60 or 75% of your life. Like your time is coming to an end. Like what
Oh
the hell
man,
are you? That's just the
it's
honest
true.
truth.
It's true. It's true.
How much time you think you got left? Not much.
Mm.
And your day to death ain't changing no matter what you do in life. So you need to get it together, especially if you already have tried it one way and it didn't work out, and you trying a different way and you got exactly what you've been wanting or asking for, and you still shitting on that. Like the issue might be you. It
Yeah,
might be you.
I think on Love Is Blind, who is it? Monica and what's the guy that's with Monica?
Monica and Joey.
Joey.
Yes, that's an interesting
That's an
couple. I mean,
interesting couple.
I think they all weird together, and it's kind of cringy a little bit, but I think it might work.
I
However,
think I like when
I
he
think the
said
sister might be jealous though.
the
There's some
sister might
jealousy
be
going
jealous. How
on.
you think that's gonna go over? Because I don't think she ever thought about what if that's the case. He's like, has she ever thought any guy was good enough for you? And she's like, come to think of it, no. And when he asked her that, do you think that your sister is jealous? The look on her face was like she never even explored that possibility that the sister could potentially not want her to be happy.
But did you peep who the dude was that was sitting next to his sister? That was the
Uh
dude who tried to date Monica, but Monica's like, yo, you should date my sister. Did you peep that?
uh.
Yeah, that dude is the sister's boyfriend, but the boyfriend wanted to holler at Monica first. But Monica's like, nah, you should date my sister.
Wow.
You probably got to go back and watch that part. But
Yeah,
that's who that dude is.
I gotta
That
go back.
dude tried to holler at Monica, and Monica's like, nah, you should holler at my sister. So that's why he got with his sister and not
Mm.
Monica.
And then too, like let's go ahead and address the elephant in the room. These girls be having these judgmental ass friends, and their friends come rolling in there 245 pounds, looking like a linebacker, looking like they finna, like they looking like used check coming through the hole, clearing for Derrick Henry. Like, listen,
Right.
if the girl that's being so overly critical, like roll out there and them edges is flying in every direction, I don't think that's the person that need to be giving me advice on what I'm doing with my situation. Because the ones I respect is the people who folks come on and they in a relationship or they in a marriage, like Daniel's parents, and they're like,
Right.
we're just supportive of whatever Daniel wants to do. And we're just happy that he found someone he could connect with. You know, people that's in a relationship is not gonna be there to tell you that all the wrong things in the world. They're just not. And it seems like can't no single person tell you how to be married.
Right.
It just really can't. I'm sorry if you listening, if you hear this, if you watch this stuff and I don't listen to single people tell me about being married. And that's the advice I always give. If a person ain't been married before or ever been or married currently or any kind of committed relationship, that's not nobody I'm taking advice from, because it take a lot of sacrifice to be in a long-term relationship, especially if you got kids or you plan on having a family. Like, I'm for sure not taking advice from somebody who don't do these things or haven't never done them themselves. I'm just not. I can't.
And David himself, going back to Love Is Blind, David, the monster dude, his last relationship was 4 years ago. So you think he would be trying to do something different and have a different approach to his dating aspect, but it seemed like he's doing the same things that he's been doing, and maybe that's the whole reason why he's been single this whole time. Or maybe he just had a whole bunch of friends with benefits as well. Like, if he had a relationship in 4 years, nigga, what you been doing? Like, what you been doing these 4 years, bro?
Doing? They been getting touched down on.
So he probably got a few friends with benefits. He has a few friends with benefits too. If it's been 4 years, dog.
Yeah, but he told her that though. She's like, so have you brought girls back? He's like, he said yes, but it hasn't been recent. And then she seemed disgusted or whatever. But that's different than Lauren. The dude say it's 48 hours. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it's a big difference been saying, like, I've been here 9 months and I brought one woman back to this guest house. And that's a big difference between somebody that's saying, like, yeah, the other night, last week. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just a little too soon.
He just need to come out and just say, hey, I can't be with you because I have a mutual friend that you was with not too long ago before you met me. That's the bottom line. I would totally get it if he said that.
All right, let me ask you a question. Do you think he like sincerely love her?
No, I think he really wants to find out what Molly do. Molly was kind of speaking more his language. If Molly was there, he would have got laid already, because she said that she would have did it. And that's what kind of like perked his ears up a little bit. So the fact that he hasn't got anything from Lauren yet, that kind of makes him mad. It kind of makes him mad. That's why he said on the boat.
Though, that like, you know, somebody that's been crashed your old lady, but she ain't gave you a taste yet.
But he didn't know that until they got back from the hotel. So he found that out a little bit later. To me, if he's mad about that, and it seems like he's been mad about that the whole time, especially if he asking other people if they already smashed already, like, that kind of seems like an expectation that he was hoping to accomplish right away.
True.
Like,
but I'm saying, like, is that a bad expectation to have, to want to be intimate with the person that you married to?
After knowing someone only like a week and a half, like, what type of expectation is that?
I ain't gonna lie. Now, like, let's have this conversation. I'm cool with waiting, but for the most part, I know a woman who's really into me. Is like, man, the hell with all that. I want it now. You see what I'm saying? Like, I feel like if there's a real strong connection and we grown, and you letting somebody off a Tinder app crash without having
you didn't know that, but you didn't know that. You got to stick with what you know at the very present moment. You didn't know about any of that.
But it's a real thing though, Rich. Like, man,
I know people smash like on first nights and like one night stands and stuff like that, but if you coming on the Love Is Blind show and you're trying to, you got to think about the title, Love Is Blind. Like, you're trying to get away from what you have done previously.
Your homeboy had her legs behind her head,
and that will be the main reason why we can't proceed.
I'm saying 1988 SummerSlam, Randy Macho Man Savage, Sarasota, Florida, off the top of the cage. Oh Yeah, brother.
And that would be the main reason why I could not proceed because of that.
I'm saying if because you know like the way she said it like off and on for a few months, yeah, he was touching down. Like I think that's what got him because he probably know the dude. He probably got a good feeling of how the dude is, and if it's a dude that hang out with Dave, he's gotta be like frat boy, beer in the hand,
I
slightly
think I've
loud
seen
and
a picture of
obnoxious.
him already. We already seen a picture of him. It's
But
out there.
but I'm saying like dude probably in my mind we forget the real
No,
facts.
again, in your mind, you cannot overlook another dude smashing your chick with it being in a short period of time. Period.
True,
In the
because
conversation.
I'm saying like because you know the questions that you gotta be laying in the bed asking like, man, did you give him some top? Man, did y'all kiss? Man, did you use a thing every time? Like, was it good? Was it better than mine? Was it bigger?
See?
You know what I'm saying? Like, did he fold you? Did he grab the back of your throat? Like, what?
You just can't overlook that. And
Oh
that's what
my
he need to come
God.
clean about. That's
Yo,
exactly what he needs to come clean about.
every time you see Young Dolph Aspen come on, every time Young Thug Ski come on, every time anything to do with Snow Ice and Ski come on, you can't watch Dumb and Dumber. Um, when you in the radio and Sabrina Carpenter come on, you just have to taste me when he's kissing. Like, bro, I'm
Yeah.
saying, like, bro, when that song come on, he probably took the beer can and the bottle and just crushed it in his hand, blood and stuff everywhere, just thinking about. And I think if they really wanted the ratings to pop rich, bring the dude on the show.
Nah. I mean, at first I thought maybe that's not a reason for him to not bring his friends around. I think she should be able to defend herself.
True.
Um, bring them around, see if they really making up the story, if they like embellishing it a little bit. Like
Mm.
bring her friends around, bring the people that's saying all this stuff about her so she could defend herself. She deserves to defend herself.
She
And it's
she
a
do
shame that he's not allowing her to
she
do that.
do, but I think he's saying like, what is that gonna do? Because she could have told him she was with somebody before coming on the show. She never said it, and that's
Yeah, but
okay that
she
she never
deserves
did,
that though.
right? But
Mm.
but the part of defending yourself is she said it's friends with benefits, and we all know what friends with benefits mean. So it's not like she's denying that she been with this guy. She just kind of embarrassed that you fell in love with somebody that's friends with a person you touched down on. I think they should
See,
bring the
I
guy
think
on, and they should have Dr. Pepper, and they should do the lie detector test. Like I'm saying, Pastor Kyle, I'm saying, you know what the ratings would be like if they did it.
yeah, but with David, he seems a little bit insecure and even more afraid to do that because
I
you know
would
what's
be.
going to happen. I can tell you what's going to happen. Dude going to come on the show and they going to introduce him and Lauren and him are going back and forth and dude going to bust out and be like, "So I ain't bust you 24 hours before you got on the plane?" Like, and then David going to get even more mad cuz he got to visualize that shit now.
I mean, I'm gonna
So,
be real. I feel like the dude that sent the text message. You know the text message, the group message we talking about, Rich.
you know the
The
dude
guys
bragging
is in
about
the
it, bro. You know
girls
he
don't y'all
is.
front. Guys in the group chat, and the dude then put the picture in her. Like I'm pretty sure Buddy probably got a picture of her bust down and all kind of stuff. If he got a video or something, hey look, and I'm gonna say this, Rich. In the content creation world, I've seen this happen. I've seen people crash out in person. I've known how it looked for a dude to be wifed up with some and somebody had to pull that flick out, and I seen how people react, and it's not pretty. But that's why I say they got to do it in a controlled setting. They can't let them control the guy and the conversation. It's got to be like Pastor Kyle, Dr. Pepper, the other lady, like him and her sitting together, the family and friends around in a circle, and maybe the guy's on a video to keep from something physically happening and say, hey, like, so how many times did y'all get together? How long have you known her? Can you send us the transcript of your text messages? Because if it's some Steve Smith type stuff, And I know
Mm.
you seen the Steve Smith stuff.
Yeah, I've been seeing a little bit of it. Yeah,
What you thought about that?
I don't know the full story of it. I mean, he was what smashing some other player's wife or whatever. I mean,
It's
that's
a
all I
lady
really
that
know.
worked for the Ravens organization. Apparently, like the stuff that's in that text message is probably what Dave is worried about. Because
Probably so.
in the message, Steve Smith is like so vulgar in what he gonna do to her. Like he's talking about leaving it and spraying at her. And she wanted him to spray in, and she's saying last time you almost rearranged my Nuva ring. Like
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like I want to grab the back of your throat, and I don't want you to come up for air. She's like, I want you to make me pass out with it in my. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm talking about like
right.
if you a husband, like I don't know how you could read that and not crash out. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously, like the account wasn't hacked. Obviously, the husband went on her account and typed all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But he, that's
Right.
tough. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think that's what Dave is going through is not even wanting to know. I don't want to know.
I agree. And I think I said this on my other podcast with my sister. Like, I feel kind of bad for the women that go on these shows now on Married at First Sight and Love is Blind because the men, like, they want these men so bad. Like, they so willing to, like, beg and plead and try to get the attention that they want. And the men just don't really be having it like that. Like, they just want to, like, I don't know. They treating it as, like, an easy way to get ass from these shows. Like, that's all it really is. That's all what is really becoming these last couple of seasons with both of these
I feel like the
shows.
guys that go on are kind of insecure and lack confidence, and the women that go on think too highly of themselves and think they got way more options than what they do. That's
Right.
my thought when I'm looking at what I'm seeing is, and I know that I be saying this, and I know y'all be kind of laughing. I promise y'all, that's why I be watching those Korean dating shows. I just like the way the respect level they bring to a situation where like it's all about respect. I just feel like it's a lack of respect between because you know if you go back to the pods the when old girl was playing both dudes it's all fun and games, right? But when she found out the dude like both of them, she's crashing out and crying to her other guy about him. But you're just
Right.
even when she picked dude and he declined her at the end, he's saying you're doing the same thing as he did. You like me and him, and you was on the fence about us up until the point that you felt like he lied because he know he's seen the other guy. He's like, I like him. It wouldn't be a surprise to me if you picked him over me. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude was
Right.
pretty secure with himself. And he's like, I want somebody that's sure about me. And the girl said the same thing. I think like you need people that's gonna have some backbone, some nuts. You know what I'm saying to step back out of a situation. Because
Right.
I think
I mean,
that's why a lot of them are single. They insecure.
yeah, not only that, but like I said, they just continue to say they want something and then when they get it, they don't want it. And they just like trying to play the field or whatever. It's just like
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy. It's crazy, but they don't really have too many options that they think that they actually have. So
They really don't. I think when you get to see the show from the outside looking in, it's not that these are bad people. Is that they have some character flaws about themselves that make them go from being a good catch to I see why somebody passed on her or I see why somebody passed on him. You know, because
right.
you know what our families would say. Yo, you 40 years old and you never had a kid, you never got married. What's wrong with you? You know, that's the first thing is,
Right.
and with a lot of them, we can see what's wrong with them. You know what I'm saying? Like it's glaringly obvious that like some people have baggage that they haven't got over. Some people have trust issues. Some people
Mm.
are their own worst enemy in the relationship, and they bring in baggage that don't allow them to move forward in their situations.
Right. And then some of them just be like really set in their minds that they don't really have to change or they really don't have to adapt to the other person or the situation. Like
True.
They just that's and they, you know what, those type of people should be okay with just being single. I mean, watching social media, watching some of these shows, there's a lot of females that's just totally okay with being single. Like
It
they
is.
all right with it. They taking solo trips and stuff like that. Like I'd be amazed at the way YouTube be recommending me videos of different places and stuff like that. Now all I see is a bunch of solo trip. And I think it's very empowering that women are doing these things and like choosing peace over everything. That's cool. That's cool and all, but when you get to a certain age, you can be like, all right, I need a man now. Then you want to try to flip things and have all these high standards and stuff like that. Like that's where the problem come in.
Yeah, I think that's why I
You
like
want to
Kevin.
like Kevin Samuel say you want a high value man.
That's why I like Kevin Samuels. The way he approached it is his approach was always like, okay, this what you want, this what you are, and this how far you are away from reality. And reality is, man, you got 3 kids by 2 different guys, and the baby daddy is incarcerated, and you want a man with no kids. He said, dial on. When he be saying it so plainly, I just think he gives a message in a tough way where a person may struggle to hear him, but what he's saying is 1,000% true. Like some
Yeah,
of these
he
people
not
just
wrong.
don't know.
Like you out here having kids by 3, 4 dudes, and then the fourth dude come along, and you talking about, oh, he can't have none until he put a ring on it. Like what happened with the first couple of 3 dudes that you had that you gave kids to? Did you require that for them? So
Nope.
why are you requiring it for the fourth dude? Like make that make sense. All of a sudden you want to require a ring before you have somebody baby, but you had 3 other babies before that. Like
Yeah,
you got to
they be
make that make
bugging,
sense.
man. I just think when I'm watching these seasons of shows, I feel bad for the people that's legitimately looking for love
Yeah.
and opening themselves up to, man, I've been going about this all the wrong way, and I'm just gonna let it happen to some of the people that come on that still think that, like, when you leave a show and every woman in the world see you not be able to handle a legitimate relationship, like, especially like the that guy's kind of insecure a little bit. Did he really think after that you gonna run across a woman who like that accomplished that's gonna give you a chance? You know what I'm saying? Like, in that sense, to be honest, these shows are the perfect example of why people marry somebody young. Like, guys get younger women or women get younger guys. They get somebody that ain't been through so much stuff to the point that they won't change.
Right. And with him, he wrote a book already, and I checked out his book on Amazon, bro. Ever since the show, they have been dogging his book with bad reviews. So it kind of like flipped on him a little bit, where he was trying to sell a book and try to get known by the book, but everybody just been writing bad reviews on his book, telling
Oh
him that he
man,
ain't shit and stuff like that. So it kind of like backfired on him a little bit. But
when
to
keeping
your
it real
point, a
go
lot of these
wrong.
people go, yeah, but a lot of these people go on these shows to find love, but then they get matched up with shitty people who just ain't ready for that type of love. Like,
I
and
think
he should
so.
know better because he tried to be on the first season and then he didn't get picked, but then they picked him up to see the following season after that. He got picked, and look the way he's acting. He's acting like a damn fool. So he
Yeah,
deserved everything that she said, and like I said, she just needed to vent a little bit, and she gave him chances after chance, like my husband, my husband, my husband, and then
the
he just
homie,
kept shitting on her.
the homie,
Yeah, the
the
homie.
homie.
She my
Like,
homie. Like what?
the homie.
What?
I just like, man, I would rather him just say that he's not ready for love, because
Right. Clearly
he
he's
might be
not.
a good guy that's gonna get a bad cast because you're not ready for love and you went on the show acting like you was. In reality, you just wasn't ready for this situation, and
Right.
you didn't
And
messed
there's a lot
over
of people
a
that
good
season
woman.
after season we see that. Every season we see
And
that
you know what
somebody's not
happens to
ready.
these people, Rich? They wind up getting with one of these red flags, and then really, and that's what I always say. You pass on something good with, like, God got a sense of humor. Okay, that you didn't want that. Come on. You remember Baby Boy when old girl was telling Yvette, but her eyes was black, and the dude was only we could see that she had raccoon eyes, dude, and black both her eyes, and she giving her advice about what to do with her man. Girl, you need to tell Jody like your dude laying on the bed right now, sleep from beating you up, like you trying to get.
Oh,
some
when she was
advice.
with Snoop, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like I think that's how it really looks. Nick, what up?
Yeah, it's a sticky situation because if you leave a situation and you don't get exactly what you thought you was gonna get, I mean, you kind of deserve it, but you just gotta like stick it out. You just gotta be like, all right, you messed up. Either go take accountability for that and fix it, or you just gotta live with your decision, pretty much. So,
So, all right, let me. So, what's your best relationship and worst relationship on Married at First and Love Is Blind? Like, so give me your best and your worst.
I think Married at First Sight probably the best relationship out there that I think is probably going to be David. No, what's his name? Is it David? David and Taylor?
Daniel and Taylor.
Daniel and Taylor.
On
And
Love
I
Is
got another
Blind.
reason why I actually like Taylor. I mean Daniel, because in the first episode he was like, I hope this girl don't want anybody that's above 5'8" and above because I'm not that height. So me only being 5'7" myself, you know, I hear stories all the time where chicks are like, oh, I want to do that 6 feet, 6'2", but yet she's only 5'3", 5'4". So
Right.
even me at 5'7" is still taller than your ass. So what the fuck are you talking about? That you want somebody 6 feet and you want somebody taller than you? Bitch, I'm 3 inches taller than you. What the hell are you talking about? And you gonna discriminate against me because I'm only 5'7" and you want somebody that's 6 feet and I'm still taller than you because you 5'3", 5'4"? So David is 5'8", so I'm cheering him on because obviously the short kings like myself got to do something extraordinary to get chicks these days because they looking at dudes who are 6 feet and above, who continue to hurt their heart and play with them. But you can get a nice little shorty king around here that can do wonders for you.
What you call him,
But
Rich? The short king?
shorty kings, short kings,
Lord Farquaad.
the
Lord
short kings.
Farquaad.
But you get what I'm saying though. Like the
I
chicks that
feel you.
be 5'3", 5'4", 5'5", talking about they want somebody 6'2" and 6'3", and yet they discriminating against the 5'7", the 5'8". Bitch, we still taller than you. What are you talking about? Even if you put on heels, you're at my eye level. Like, okay, what's the problem? What is the problem?
Oh, Rich is funny, man.
But then they be like, oh, all I dated was dudes 6 feet and above. All right, what did I get you? Single, right? Bingo. You might want to try something else. You might want to try a different height.
So what's your worst? All right, so that's your best on Love Is Blind. What's your worst on Love Is Blind?
My worst on Love Is Blind. Oh, Love Is Blind. Probably Lauren and David, because I think David is just a monster. The man's been a walking red flag since the beginning in the pods, like from day one. And then it goes back to your point of women just ignoring the red flags and just overlooking all the red flags and be like, that's my dude though. But mad when they get disrespected or get embarrassed. Like,
all right, so on Married at First Sight, who's your best and worst?
probably my best and worst. I gotta think again. I mean, I was rooting for Alan. Alan is obviously a good dude. I didn't really think it was Madison at first, but now that it has been revealed that it's Madison, I feel kind of bad for Alan. Alan was a good dude, so she didn't have to do that to him. I mean, I was kind of rooting for both of them. The worst couple is probably Ike and Michelle. Like those are the two worst people on the show because, like I said, Michelle wasn't feeling David until she found out that someone else was interested in David, and she didn't even know it was Madison at first. I mean, she kind of put the pieces together, but up until that point, she was damn near treating him like shit, and he was willing and trying and stuff like that. But Ike is just terrible. He's intimidated by a woman that's making more than him. Again, that should have been another situation. But like, all right, where I sign, bro? Where I sign?
True.
To have a chick that probably makes more than you or probably on the same playing field as you, like that's a win. That's jackpot.
Yeah,
like that's a win a chicken dinner right there.
They do be insecure.
Yeah.
And to me, they just be more of a. To be honest, if you run into that, you should be like, okay, that's just gonna give me a chance to get on my shit. And she motivated me for me to
Right.
take the lead at some
Right.
point because I like the way she put it to his family. It's like I might not always be doing the best. He might be doing better than me at some point. So this is to
Right.
protect him also. And then they was
Right.
don't y'all believe in him that he's gonna have his day? You know, it's like I don't know.
Not only that, if I was Devin, I'd be like, look, you working, obviously you the breadwinner, you make more than me. What time you want your dinner? What time you want the water ran? Like, let me know.
He
Like,
said, "Let
I'm
me fix
home.
your bath water."
Like, I'm fixing your bath water. I'm cooking dinner. Like, we chilling. Like,
Hey, my boy said I
what
got the
type of
lotion
milk
out.
you
I'm ready to
like? Like,
clap.
I'm going to Target. Like, I'm making grocery store runs. I'm like,
But you know the thing.
jackpot.
You know the thing. I think that she understands. She been in the NBA world, and you can
Right.
hear it. You can hear it in her voice. Like she know what a dude that make a lot of money, how they gonna treat her. So she just looking at it like, yo, I got a dude that genuinely like me, and he's interested in just me, and not looking at me as the older girl. He just want to touch down on and run. So I think she liked the security that he was happy with her. Probably one
Yeah.
of the first times that she's probably had in her recent memory in the circle she be in that the guy likes her more than she liked the dude.
Right. Not only that, it seems like maybe he is probably the safer pick. At some point in life, people, men and women, actually get tired of their heart being broken. So they change it up and they start to go with the safer dude, the dude that ain't gonna like break their heart, the dude that ain't gonna cheat on them. And she might be at that situation already because, like you said, she dated athletes or whatever. She dated ball players and she wants a change of what she's actually been doing. So she's
Mm-hmm.
tired of getting her heart broken, getting cheated on, getting played. So she chose a safer dude, and it just turns out that the dude likes her more than she likes him. So he's a safer
Mm-hmm.
pick. He should have played his card right and be like, "Yo, where I sign? Like again, what type of temperature you like for your bathwater? Like, what do you want for dinner? Like, I mean, look, you can't have you winning right there, bro. You are winning.
Yeah,
You're winning
it
right there.
really is. I just think that sometimes they get in their head because they hear these terms or they hear these things
Right.
without actually thinking about what it really means. Like,
Yeah.
no, like this is a dub for you, bro. Because
Yeah, and
if
his
it's
priorities is kind of messed up too. The man got $700 Jordans in the back, and talking about he's still in medical debt. Like, bro, what's going on with that? You can sell those shoes back there and get out of that medical debt, but then you still got this chick over here who says she gonna help you with that, dog.
bruh, when she said she gonna help him pay his student loans and medical debt, like he at that moment he should have just submarined her. You know what I'm saying? Like he
Yeah,
he should
I
have
would have been like, yo, you had me at paid student loans. You say less, say no more.
I'm talking about man, talking about pouring the draft bath water and drinking it too. Like he just gotta go make it all happen, dog. Like, look, don't fumble that, my guy. Like you guys, she finna pay off your medical bills and your student loans just to prove to you the prenup ain't coming from a bad
Yeah,
from a bad situation. It's coming from a
yeah,
place of love. I just
and I
like,
think
mm, mm,
and I
mm.
also think that as like men, like if we ever come across that situation where or if you in a situation that maybe your woman has bossed up a little bit, got a little bit more money than you, had a career progression and moved up in the career world, we shouldn't be intimidated by that. We should be encouraged and we should be the biggest cheerleader of that woman. Like
True.
who cares? Like you guys are in a long distance relationship or whatever, or a lengthy marriage. Somebody, it should be a tug and war of who gets better each and every year. Like somebody's income should exceed somebody else's, and then maybe one year her income would go up higher than yours, and then the year after that, your income overtakes hers. Like that's just really you guys really getting better each and every year. Like who cares? Who
I
cares
agree
if you
with
guys
that
are
a
getting things
thousand
done?
percent.
Like
I agree with that 1,000% because it's like I don't think people understand that concept in a true marriage. It's not like when people say the term 50-50, it's not like you gonna watch 50% of the dishes and she gonna watch 50% of the dishes, or you gonna cut half the grass and she gonna wash the car, wash the kid. man, you might change that diaper 100 straight times, but she might change that diaper 20 times when you can't. And it's imperative that you need somebody there to do it. Or
Right.
when it comes to the bills, she might pay the bills for a whole year and you might pay the whole bills for 2 years, and nobody should complain because y'all committed to making it work as
Right.
a team. And when she said that, it's because she's been with a lot of way more successful guys, NBA
Mm.
players and things like that, and executives, to the point where she knows how to play her role. And her roles has been whatever you need me to do. And
Right.
and she's got a guy that hopefully he understands his role, Rich. Like sometimes you ain't gonna score 20 at the shooting guard. Sometimes you need to pass the ball into the post and let the big man work. You know what I'm saying? Like I think a lot of
Listen.
people don't know how to be a team player in these situations, and not to be intimidated by, because the reality part, Eminem, the way her crib looked, nah, baby, we staying at your house. What you want me to
Mm.
clean up? You need me to get the karaoke machine out. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
Bruh.
that
Like
don't
I
make
said, I
you
would have
no
met
weak
her in the
man to make you
driveway.
soft. Look, they don't
Open
make
her
you no weak
door.
man to make you soft. It's like, hey, I'm playing my role. And in it,
Yep.
if you really who you say you are, being with her and writing the book, he might have had a successful book.
True. 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 True.
You feel me? His success may have came from that, because now to every woman on earth, you just look like a villain.
Some dudes just don't know how to read the room. That's pretty much what it comes down to. You don't know how to read
Man,
the
Rich, what
room.
you have for Sunday dinner, man?
Ike don't know how to read the room. Devin don't know how to read the room. You got jackpot in front of you, and you fumbling in there, bro.
Oh, what did you have for? Hey, Rich been on fire today. I ain't gonna lie. Like some of these
Like I
situations,
said, the minute she would have paid that medical debt and that student loan, and the minute that they cleared,
he's
and
supposed
I
to
got a
tapped her.
receipt that said, "Hey, you no longer owe us this, bruh." How you like your water, babe? Like I be attacking her as soon as she hit the door. Let me get your coat. Let me get your shoes. Here your slippers. Here your robe.
Man, what?
That's more time
Hey,
he
look,
get to sit on the
he's
internet and buy shoes.
look
Like,
when
bro,
she
what,
come out the bathroom, he's supposed to have the Bluetooth in his mouth, the pink horsepower. You know what I'm saying?
bruh?
He's supposed to put the pink horsepower on his tongue, swallow the Bluetooth like Ray.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's kind of weird though because like in this day and age, the more I see on social media or just more videos that I watch on YouTube, there's a lot of more successful women that's been coming up, and they really are taking care of their business, and they really are making a lot more than these men. And these men are kind of like intimidated by that, and they really shouldn't. They should be like, shit, let me go find one.
Man, what?
let me go,
I
let me
mean,
go find
I know
one.
that's been one thing, but I think that's taught. I think my dad was like always like, listen, the woman you get got to be somebody that wants something and ain't scared to work and
Mm.
ain't scared to work with you. You know, so it's like if I
Right.
see a woman that's successful, I've never been intimidated. I'm like, she needs a counterpart. She needs somebody that's just as
Yeah.
strong as she is. And the thing about relationships is it's always like a give and take. It's always gonna be something that you good at that she's not good at, and something that she's good at that you're not good at, and you just have to complement each other, and not come into a situation feeling like, I could see the look on his face when he seen her career. He was low key kind of jealous.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh,
You can't be like intimidated by a woman making more than you. You got to be encouraged by it, especially if you're in a relationship by it. Like you should be encouraging her to make more than you. Like I wish you would make more than me. Please do.
man,
Please
what?"
do.
Because
By
like
all
that's
means,
less you
please
got to
do.
keep up with. And two, I always looked at
Yeah.
it as like, if something happened to me and I was gone, would my woman be strong enough to handle biz if I was out of if something happened to me? And that's all the
Right.
way I would ever looked at it, is I want somebody that go hard as me or go harder than me at times, because if something happened to me, like I want to know that, you know, my kids would have somebody that's gonna grind and gonna push them, that's not gonna let them fall behind.
Right. So yeah. So I mean, I don't get why they so intimidated, but it's gonna be interesting to see Virginia and Devin and how they continue to handle that prenup situation. Again, like I said it earlier, with a show like Love is Blind, it should probably be a requirement to protect everybody, no matter what the situation is. And then, like you said, if down the line you guys want to rip that up and renegotiate, you can do that. Like you can totally
Yeah,
rip that up and redo all that stuff. But the show itself need to have that as a requirement to protect everybody. I'm
agreed.
surprised they don't. I'm surprised they don't.
Especially with like everything that we do financially in the world now is like the legalities, the contracts. You know, that's what we talk about first when it comes to just about anything. Is we start talking contracts and the legalese. So
Right.
seeing as coming into the show with as many train wrecks and people that they've had come into the show that don't have the right intentions, I think it should be a requirement of the show to have a vetting process and seeing like, you know, are you open to like everybody that comes on the show gets a prenup. And it was funny because it was the woman saying it wasn't the other way around. Because usually when you
Right.
think of that, you think of Paul McCartney. You think of somebody getting half. Yeah, you think about Kim K walking away for $500 million. You start thinking about things like that, but it's not that. It's her saying, "Hey, I'm not just protecting myself. I'm protecting you too, in case the stuff that you doing
Right.
blow up, and we don't work out in a short period of time. I don't want to take what you worked for." She basically saying, "I
Yeah.
don't want what you got, but I want to work
Right.
with you."
Yeah, and that seems fair. Like I said, on a short term deal like this, like it should probably be a requirement to protect both because she obviously has more than he does. And like it's just crazy when it comes to like a divorce or something like that, or it comes to like who gets what and certain assets to me is like mind boggling and like why you got to split like a 401k or split a retirement stuff like that as if the other person was clocking in going to work for you like that
Yeah,
alone should probably just be non-negotiable like you wasn't going to work for me, why you feel like you're entitled to that? But
true,
it's certain it's a very touchy type topic or whatever, but I think for the purpose of Married at First Sight and Love is Blind, a prenup should probably be required to protect everybody just
true.
because
I
just
mean,
because you can have that one person that can come on the show and be like, I don't care, we was married 30 days, the law is the law. And obviously
right.
we don't know what judge will side with somebody like that, but it could be possible. It
It
could be
depends on the
possible.
state. Me
Yeah.
personally, I feel like anybody that's being married knows the marriage is way more than just some financial obligation. There's not a dollar amount you could ever have to feel confident that your kids would, at all times, you'd rather have the person there than the money. You know what I'm saying? Like you'd rather have the help
Right.
because, like, let's say a man made 6 figures, but he had 2 or 3 kids, and they all live with him. That money finna get sucked up. A woman could
Right.
get whatever dollar amount she make if she's a single mother. She trades some of that money to have a man in the house with her to help her with just life. Like I know how hard it is being married and the schedule that we have just week to week, it burn you out, and having somebody that could take the kids off for an hour for 45 minutes to get a power nap is a lot. I know some people sitting out there don't think that it's a lot, but it's a lot. Just just having somebody that could when you sick go pick up your medicine, or y'all getting ready to go on a trip and you tired and they drive half the way back. Anything pick you up from the airport, the small stuff, the school call, you got to go get your kid, and abrupt like, okay, who's closest, who can go get him, who can take him to the doctor and stuff like that, because just one person having it all by themselves is like, there's not a dollar amount that would
Yeah.
make you comfortable in all that what you got to do in a marriage and with having a family.
True that, true that. But overall, man, like I said, I like them shows. I just wish that those people really was in tune with how they really feel and what they really want and give it a chance because at the end of the day, it is just an experiment. And I think a lot of these people give up on the experiment way too soon, considering why the reason why they wanted to be on the experiment to begin with.
To be
So I don't understand
vulnerable
why
and to
you
be
would,
open and to give love a
yeah,
chance.
yeah. But they give up on it so quickly and so easy, and then they just be like, "Oh, I just go back to doing what I was doing." Well, what was
Yeah.
your purpose on the show?
Bye.
What was your purpose on the show? Like, I
Basically,
wanted
get
to
out of
date
here.
somebody different, but they gave me somebody different, but I ain't like it. Let me go back to getting my heart broken and shit like that. So
You
yeah,
know how it go. Like people feel like they can do better than what's out than what's being provided until you get out there in the world on your own and see how tough it really is. Like I wouldn't want to come up in this day's dating scene where
yeah,
somebody think, oh, I think Rich is handsome. Pause. I'm gonna go look at his Instagram. Let's look at his best and worst picture. Let's look at all the mutual friends. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody pries so deep into your life without just saying, hey, would you like to go somewhere so we can talk and I could ask you? You could tell me, I could learn like
yeah,
how the vibes is, or some superficial thing. What kind of car you drive? How much money you make? How tall are you? How much you weigh? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like just the typical stuff that people care about instead of all that don't matter if you don't vibe with the person and you can't trust them.
yeah. And then, like I say, you ain't getting no younger. So if you're about to become single or just single nowadays, you just gotta come to the grips that hey, you just might be single for the rest of your life, and be totally okay with that because you either waited too long or you just, you know, like David said, what's wrong with you? But
Mm, mm, mm.
I don't know. I wish everybody the best, but like I said, you can't just continue to go on these shows and like lay out the blueprint of the type of person that you want and you're giving that person, and then you just totally shit on them. Like you just
Yeah.
can't continue to do that.
Cause I think, like, I think we probably coming to a wrap here, but I think the one part that hurt me, the way she said to David when the producer asked him, she said, it's not him. He's a really good guy and he's what I asked for. And he treats me with respect. He asks me if I need help. He checks in and he tries. But I just can't get over him living there. And he's like, is there anything that I could do? And she's like, no, it's not fair for him to be getting treated like this in this process because it's really just me. But
Right.
you in your mid to late 30s, like what do you think you finna get with that Farmer John one piece overall set? Like you think you
Yeah.
finna get some young gun? You think you getting Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise, Tom Brady or something? Like no, you finna
But
get done dirty.
not only that, but like again, you coming into this experiment, you know the background of the show. You know you get married at first sight, and you know you guys move in together, then you guys discuss future plans to about what you guys are going to do after the show or whatever. So why would you not allow that to play out and just instead of just totally dismissing it on day one? Like she went in the bathroom crying on her wedding night. Like she already
Yeah.
was like done with this situation on day one.
And see, she
Like,
can't she can't act like that wasn't the truth. Like you was already checked out when you first, even before she found out anything about anything else. When she looked at him and just her general feeling, she was checked out. But I think
yeah.
some of these people need mirrors, though, Rich. I think they need a mirror.
But again, he was exactly what she described.
It, and when they show, I love the fact that they showed the video of, because
Yeah.
I even question myself, like, they do this on purpose? And they showed the video, and she's like, "Are you okay?" She's like, "Yeah, I mean, he could take up to 6 months to move out. That doesn't really bother me." Then it's like,
Yeah.
you get him, and then it's like, well, I want a tall guy. I want somebody that's, got a lot of energy. I want da 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 da. Like, everything you name, this guy,
Yeah.
and you just not giving him a chance. And I thought that was like really unfair to him. And
Right. Yeah. She
apparently,
didn't give him a chance until she found out somebody else wanted him.
right,
That's a typical
that's typical though,
situation
right?
that happens in relationships. Yeah.
It's
Happens
like,
all the time.
that start when you a kid. Like you ain't looked at that toy in weeks, and some other little kid picked the toy up, and they in there trying to snatch the toy from their hand. They crying, crashing out.
Yeah. Pretty much. But we'll see over the next couple of weeks about what happened with the show. I think Married at First Sight, they're gonna do Decision Day, I think, on Tuesday, and I think Love is Blind gonna air like three episodes as well. So we're gonna be able to see who's been staying together, and we had to come together again and talk about it.
Oh,
So
for sure.
yeah,
All right,
it was a good
man.
talk though.
When is your pod with your sister dropping?
Well, we got Married at First Sight pod, where the episode is going to drop on Tuesday at 11 o'clock. We got the Love Is Blind episode that's going to drop on Thursday, and then we got our regular podcast episode where we actually give you guys an insight of what we watch and what we binge watch and what we recommend you guys binge watch and catch up on different TV shows or whatever. So we got 3 videos dropping this week on the page.
All right, and then just on the way out, man, hlx.gg/Vibe Nation. Make sure y'all go make a profile right now in the month of March. You're gonna be able to spend $10 and get the monthly sub. You're gonna be able to play an Obituary 8, a $750 regs tournament. You Purgatory, that's gonna be $1,000 mud tournament. And then you're gonna be in the Hazing, is a $250 college football tournament. If y'all act great, y'all sign up, then Rich is gonna have his underdogs tournament to close it out for college football, and that's over $2,000 worth of prizes in the month of March with just from those 3. That's not even anything else on the site. So you're gonna be able to get the full payouts, which would be crazy, like $750 to the winner, $250 on to the second place on the Purgatory. You're gonna get something like $500 and $250 split on Obituary 8, and then on the CFB it's gonna be something like a $200 to a $50 split. And we need y'all to come out in numbers, man. Make sure y'all we're gonna be dropping the flyer soon. Make sure y'all go ahead and make a profile and set everything up so you can expedite it, and we'll be pumping it hard when it's time, because you got MCS and Red Hot game in the first week. We're gonna try to schedule it around that so we're not conflicting with other big tournaments. But make sure you following Rich's YouTube. Make sure you following my YouTube. It's always the pin link in the comment, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, share, react to those YouTube videos. We need y'all on that, because we've had a lot. Rich, we probably had 50 to 100 free tournaments this year, and we ain't be asking for nothing back other than people just engage with the content that we put out. Because we're really trying to grow that offline content this year.
Yeah, especially on YouTube, man. Like all the conversations that we be having in the Discords or even just like in the streams. And if you guys can just take that conversation to the YouTube and write a few comments, drop a few likes or whatever, like that helps out so much. And I promise you, like once we get the YouTube monetized, like me and Buddha, his page and my page, like the content is gonna get even better because we can like really put it over there and then just continue to do what it needs to do. But we need you guys' help and building that up and getting those watch hours up and getting those followers up and stuff like that. Like YouTube is the end game. Like it really is. It's the end game. And that's the last platform that I need to get monetized, or at least to be partnered on until like really takes off. Like
true.
YouTube is the end game. And they can take away Facebook, TikTok, but YouTube ain't going nowhere.
Arguing, drop some. Yeah. If it's some shows or some movies y'all want us to watch and react to, or situations, comment over there and we'll pop in here and get busy and throw them up. We hot to go. HOTT hot to go. You know what I'm saying? Like we packaging them things up like Little Caesars and shipping them out, man. Yeah. So definitely.
And it's not like, and it's not to throw shade at anybody, but I think you, as a content creator, you definitely got to be real with your audience sometimes. But if you guys can sit over there and watch 2-hour videos of somebody that you don't even know, but yet you got someone that you know and you watch every single day who talks back to you, who engage with you, and all they asking for is for you to just go over there and drop a like and drop a comment on their YouTube videos that they making for you, I think you guys should be able to do that with ease. Because you watch a whole bunch of other people who don't contribute to anything that you do, or like, and there's nothing wrong with having other favorite content creators either. Like, we're not asking you to pick between people.
It's like we do a lot of free stuff, and we are very engaging and help anybody that wants to get down and wants to work with us. So, in the near future, we're going to be bringing in some NFL players, some like more celebrity types. But on that road to this, if y'all help us get to that mean the prize pools go up. That mean the more free stuff in tournaments and the more stuff that we can just give out and do, because we'll be in the position to do it, because it's so hard us giving stuff away and we can't even get people to go to a YouTube video. Y'all know how many of y'all, not nobody in specific, inbox me content from other people sharing reels and videos and things that don't ever like or comment or share, because I know that y'all don't be sharing the YouTube videos and stuff to other people like, yo, you seen this dude? Like, this my man's. But at the same time, we the only people that would say, man, hop in the Discord and talk if you want to talk, or if you want to be part of the sauce or whatever. And Rich, this is what I want to do this coming week with some of these topics that we had. I want to get some of the female content creators and just people from the community to join us on here sometime. I want to hear Having So Amazing's wife on talking about the deal breaker in the gaming and relationship podcast was my favorite one I've done all year. Having a female come on and say, like, this is what we really be thinking when y'all do it, without fear of us arguing back or getting aggressive. Like, just hearing her thought process of what she didn't like and what she does like and how she feels when other people say things bad about what her man do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love it. So I think we gotta get some of the I definitely I know your sister, Lady Stanton, I want to get her in here. Spank Queen. I
could definitely get my
Sunny
sister in
D.
here.
I want to get some of them in here, and because they got a different side of it, is being a female creator. How does your guy feel about you playing games and being on the headset with other guys at 2-3 in the morning, podcasting or playing, and knowing these guys is secretly over there?
I can make that work. But you know, one of the ways that I handle, because like you said, you have people sending you reels of other people's content all day, every day. When I have family members who send me reels of everybody else, and I'd be like, well, I sure hope you send my content out like you be sending these other people content out to me. Like,
no, they
if
don't.
not, I'm gonna block them. It's a block. It's an auto block.
I got a new thing that I'm gonna start doing. Every time somebody send me something, I'm gonna just send them some of my content back. Cause it'd be different if they sent me somebody content that look like, if it's Joe Budden or somebody, like, do you sending me something that ain't even the quality of my shit? You know what I'm saying? Come on.
Not only that, but Instagram has got real petty now, because they now show you they show you reels that your people have liked, like your friends have liked. So if you see your friends up there in the top right hand corner and they liking all this damn content, you got to question why they liking your shit. Like, right. I see you liking this person content, but I have yet to see you like mine. Like, what's going on here? Instagram has got petty as hell, bro.
You know what all my people do, and this is why I always tell people you can't trip.
I actually stop liking content now
on people that know
because of that.
People that know you ever like engaging yourself into you like superstar status, is all my people, when they see me or when they text me or call me, they talk about all my content, but you never see them. You know what I'm saying? And I just be like, I just think it's funny that, like, I could do something and then they'll like message me like, hey, it's like they're responding to what I'm doing. Like,
yes.
But I take it though, because I'm like, okay, cool. At least that they see it. So I just need to
I be wanting them to like, because I think on my last vacation, one of my aunts had called me. She's like, well, I see you on vacation again. Like, damn, how did you know?
Auntie want to go on vacation too.
She's like, I know when you on vacation because of your social media. I was like, yeah, you got me. But I don't ever see you drop a like or a comment. Yeah, I don't see you drop a like or a comment, but you sure be trying to ask where I be all the damn time.
She want that plane ticket, Rich. You better put Auntie on that plane, man.
Yeah, so I'm like, how you don't be liking my stuff, but you be watching it all the time? Like, that's crazy.
I got another idea though. What I'm gonna do though, when people start doing that, if they get mad when I send them I'm gonna just send them my daughter content.
That's right. I actually might start doing that. I didn't even think about that. So every reel that I get to somebody else, I send that same person my content.
Like I'm gonna start sending out like a picture of my, like, one of my daughter's craft videos or her playing Roblox or something. And I want to see that response. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Like,
I know it'd be making me mad, because I'm like, bro, you send me other people content all day long. I know you don't be sending my content out like that.
No, this is my
and I'm a family member, or I'm a homie or whatever. Like, bro,
you know they don't be saying, this my man, it's my cousin Rich, man. He on fire.
Yeah,
man, go check his shit. Look at this camera quality. Like,
exactly.
You know you're not getting that.
Exactly. That's what would be pissing me off. I'm like, man, now I gotta block you, bro. Like, because you just wrong. Like, you be sending me everybody else shit, but I don't ever see. I be looking at your stories. They got videos of everybody else, but every time that I post a video, it don't never appear in your stories ever.
But
And
you
I'm
know
the
what? You
family.
know one thing I do like about that though? I ain't got to take everybody with me when I get to
Right,
the
right,
top.
right.
So my sauce
Exactly.
is the and I was telling the guy this yesterday. I was like, to be honest, strangers appreciate what you
Facts.
do better than people that know you without nothing in return.
Facts.
So
Facts.
it's like embrace that instead of. But I do get irritated when people that know me do that because I dealt with that in my own business. You work for you done ran a shoe store before, Rich, and I have too.
Yeah.
We got that similar experience, and I used to tell them like I used to go to Atlanta to the Cobb Festival and to Buford Highway and all them places and go to all these different fashion shows and it's Boosie people with Jewel House and all these guys in Armani suits with all these different urban wear brands and you get there and I'm like, y'all realize I'm sitting in Hibbett in the west side of Birmingham or I'm in the mall location or the one out here in south of the city I ran 3 different stores and I'm get the manifest and I scan every piece of product that goes into $1 million store and I'm sitting here watching like this is the same stuff that I got. It's the same smoke rise denim. It's the same this type of brand. The people that make the Blue Lives Matter shirts make the Black Lives Matter shirts. It's the same manifest. It's I scan it in the same way. It's the same system. It's the same sticker from the same place. Ain't nothing different. Even the fixtures that I had better store fixtures than the stores that I had. And this is Hibbett has 1,300 locations in the U.S. I'm just like,
Right.
bro, people used to go by me and look at my stuff and go in the Korean store and buy it and pay triple the price I buy it, bro. Like,
Right.
it's. Do you think I
And
can get something manufactured differently than the Koreans, dog? Like, like you
right.
know, and then even if I could provide that, they still would be like a certain way. I remember they used to ask me like when I sold the Shikis, they'd be like, "Yo, but it ain't real kente cloth." I got a dude that the director of African Studies at UAB that has a lady that she can make you an authentic kente cloth. She's from West Africa, and I got 2 of my best friends I grew up with. They do recon tours from U.S. to Africa, and they can bring you back anything. And I got my man Cebu. He's from South Africa. He's from Swaziland. He speaks Zulu. He can get you any kind of art piece. You just got to give him a little time. And I got their cards, and they'll be like, "I'll get back to you." All right, so buy this $20 dashiki since you asking me all these
Right.
African questions. I can get you direct in to get these things. You know what I'm saying? And validate it like, but this lady finna charge you $200 if she come like fit you like a suit to make this thing with this real kente cloth because that stuff is heavy and it's coming on the boat because it's too expensive to
Yeah.
ship by air. Because it's like
Yeah.
5 cents a pound if it's on the boat. If it's in the air, it's like $5 a pound. You know what I'm saying? I'm just
Right.
like, did they get to looking crazy? It's the same with content, and it kills me too, Rich, when people won't listen to me tell them how something works. Like you trying to
Right.
hook up a podcast and you, hello, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. Well,
technically, I can
with the
come fix it.
podcast, when I first started, my sister was like, "Let's send it to all the family members and all these people." And I'm like, "For what?
They're
Like,
not gonna rock with it.
why? They're not going to listen to it. They're not going to follow it. Like, if they ain't, I'd had this channel for years. If they ain't already following me, they ain't going to follow me and they ain't going to watch the videos." So I told her, like, the biggest supporters that we're going to have is non-family and non-supporters.
Bars.
That's just a fact. She's like, "Well, why don't you send it to this person? For what?"
They
They're
finna
not going
talk
to
about
listen
y'all
to
like
it.
a dog.
Yeah.
Who Rich think
Yeah.
he
So,
is doing a podcast talking about siblings? You know they gonna say every
yeah. Like, if
piece of
anything,
dirt.
that's going to make even Thanksgiving even more awkward than what it already is.
I mean,